VTech just kicked in, yo. What is VTech and what the hell just kicked in? Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about VTech. If you happen to be stuck in traffic with a Honda car in front of you, or you happen to be strolling on the road and you see a Honda car parked on the road, you have definitely seen one of these two badges, either the iVTech or the DVTech. In today's video, we are going to be talking about VTech and what the hell has just kicked in. This video is going to get a little bit technical as we dive deep into understanding what iVTech is and what this technology does to make the car so superior. VTech stands for Variable Valve Timing and Lift Electronic Control. I know that title sounds long and extremely complex, but it's not. It's extremely simple and we're going to break it down and explain to y'all guys in this video. iVTech was invented by a Honda engineer back in the late 2080s and his name is Kuuko Kajatani. I hope I pronounced that right. Mr. Kuuko Kajatani, also known as the god of VTech. People love the VTech engines and there's good reason for it because it has best of both worlds. It takes two opposites and puts them together. What am I talking about? You can get a very good fuel efficient car at low revs which sips fuel, and at high RPMs it completely transforms into this different personality car and starts producing so much more power, and that's when you hear the phrase VTech kicked in, yo. How does all this happen? We are going to be explaining to you all in this video. But before that, guys, I would like to tell you all that if you all are stopping here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we make a ton of automobile content and we talk about automobile tech, review, news, and y'all can let us know what you want me to make a video on next, and we'll make a video on that as well. So don't forget to subscribe and let's get started with the video. So how do VTech engine work? Basically, back in the late 80s when this technology was introduced into Honda cars, there was good reason for it because the Japanese government at that time was taxing cars based on the amount of displacement. So if you have a 1000cc car, you had an X amount of tax on it. As soon as you start climbing that up, the tax on the car becomes more. So it was not really the size of the car that actually determined the tax of the car, but the amount of displacement. So the engineers came up with a brilliant solution to that, iVTech. For me to explain to you all iVTech, I need to go back and explain to you all the working of a 4-stroke engine. Many of you guys have seen this part already in a lot of other videos. So bear with me, it's just a recap and it's just, well, fun to talk about. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. When you look at a piston, the first stroke that takes place in the 4-stroke engine is the piston moving down. When the piston moves down, the inlet valve open and a juicy combination of fuel and air come inside the piston chamber. Once the piston has moved all the way down, the valves close and the piston starts moving up, starting the second stroke, the squeeze stroke. The squeeze stroke, like the term says, squeezes the entire combination of fuel and air, compressing it really tight. And once the piston has moved all the way up, the spark plug goes off, creating a bang and creating the third and the most important stroke, the power stroke, forcing the piston down. The piston moves down with that blow and turns the crankshaft. That is the most important, the power stroke or the bang. And lastly, the piston moves up, comprising of the fourth stroke when the outlet valves open and throw out all the exhaust air. We have discussed this before in the past, and I'm not really going to focus on the piston movement. We're actually going to be focusing more on the valves that open and close. A lot of time, your guys must have noticed on the cover of the engine, there's 16V written in bold, and that's because they want to tell you all that there are 16 valves in this engine. 4 valves per cylinder. That comprises of 4 into 4, 16. And why do you need 16 valves? Well, we have 2 valves for the inlet and 2 valves for the outlet. 2 valves will open when the fresh air and fuel come inside, and 2 valves will open again to throw out the exhaust air. VTech stands for Variable Valve Timing. We're going to be talking about these valves opening and closing, and that's what creates VTech. The camshafts are attached to the crankshaft that's below and which is getting rotated by the piston, and there's a chain that rotates the camshaft on top through the crankshaft below. So if you look at an ordinary camshaft, the camshaft have the cam lobes on top of it and they sit on top of the valves. They rotate and they keep moving a rocker arm which opens and closes the valves. These cam lobes are designed differently for different cars. So if you want a more fuel efficient car, you have low cam profiles which are designed in a manner to come in contact with the rocker arm only for a brief second and keep the valves open only for a brief second and close them fast. If you open the valves for only a short amount of time, only a small amount of fuel and air goes inside, hence giving you better fuel efficiency. But it also means that in return you get low power. Cars that are designed for racing have bigger cams and they keep the valves open for longer, letting in more fuel and air inside. Those cams are known as high cam profiles. But since the valves are kept open for a longer time, they give you a lot of more power because there's a lot of more explosion happening inside the piston bay, but that also results in very bad mileage. Have you heard those American muscle cars who have engines that idle very floppily? Yeah, those cars are using high cam profile. And even at low RPMs, even at idling speeds, a lot of more fuel and air is going inside the engine, but it's not required. Hence, it's floppy like the way it sounds. So it's a trade-off. Either you have low cam profile or you have high cam profile. That determines the characteristic of your engine. So what this brilliant Japanese engineer did is he decided to bring the two cams and use both of them on a camshaft. So between the regular size cam that comes in contact with the rocker arm and opens the valves for a short duration, in between that, he decided to place the high cam profile. And when you're at low revs, the low cam profiles come in contact with the rocker arm and open and close the valves for a short duration. But as soon as you climb the revs and you reach 4500 RPM, the entire characteristic changes. Now in the rocker arm, there are two arms that are designated to come in contact with the low cam profiles. And a third arm sits between these two regular arms and comes in contact with the high cam profile but does not create an impact because it's free to rotate. But once you start climbing up the revs and you reach 4500 RPM, the computer realizes that you want more power out of the engine and it grants your wishes. What it does is a hydraulic control valve locks the rocker arms together, thus engaging the sports cam profile or the high cam profile. Now your valves are remaining open for longer. That means more fuel and air is coming inside. That means a bigger bang. That means more power. And once you get a foot off the accelerator and you go back to normal speeds and normal RPM, the hydraulic control valve disengages the third arm, helping you go back to the regular cam profiles and gives you better fuel efficiency. So it's best of both worlds. At low RPM, you're getting better fuel efficiency because the low cam profiles are getting used, and as soon as you climb up to 4500 RPM, VTEC kicks in and the high cam profiles get engaged and you get more power. Now coming to turbocharged VTEC engines. In a regular engine which is not turbocharged, a naturally aspirated VTEC engine, you have VTEC cams on both the inlet valves and on the outlet valves as well. That's because you need to open the valves for longer at higher RPM so that fresh air comes. That's why you need both the low cam profile and the high cam profile. And on the outlet valves, you require again both the cam shafts because you need to quickly remove that exhaust air and keep the valves open for longer in the exhaust as well. But when you have a turbocharger, it's slightly different. In a turbocharger, the air is already forced into the engine by the turbocharger. So you don't require a VTEC camshaft on the inlet valve side. You only require one on the outlet camshaft side. And why do you still require that? Is because you need to quickly get rid of that exhaust so it goes into your turbocharger, spools up your turbocharger and sucks in fresh air for your inlet valves. So again, to recap, small engines have usually small cam profiles or low cam profiles for being more fuel efficient and to give you better mileage. And if you want sporty, aggressive, fast cars, they usually use high profile cams which keep the valves open for longer, letting in more fuel and air. But as a result, you get rubbish mileage. Best of both worlds is what IVTech has done, and that is why this engineering is so exciting and everybody loves it, including the entire JDM market and the American market. Fast and Furious celebrated it. So that is why they're so hyped and everybody considered that engineer, whose name I can't pronounce, as the VTEC god or the god of VTEC. And that is why at 4500 RPM, VTEC kicked in, yo! Anyway guys, that wraps up this video, and if you all did enjoy this video, make sure to like this video and share it with your friends and family. Anybody who you know who's looking to buy a car and you want to recommend the Honda engines to them, it's a brilliant engine. It has mind-blowing technology which has been there for now 30 years, more than 30 years. So guys, definitely recommend this video to them. If you enjoy this video, remember to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you want me to make a video on next in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the VTEC engine and any other similar engines that are there which offer the same technology as VTEC, different technology than the VTEC, and we can have a discussion on that. We can make a video on that. Let me know anyway, and till then, happy motoring, stay safe, cheers.